The day after the takeover of the logistics hub Velgiev, far more snow than the past years began to blanket the Empire.
The snow continues to pile up. The early winter is upon us. The loss of Victor is unfortunate indeed. We'll need to reorganize our defenses. Even if Jutland is foolish enough to attack, winter will be our ally.
Good. You always did favor the colder climes.
When blanketed by winter, Ruse is the most beautiful land in the world. And the cold leaves my mind and body alert. Good fortune lies ahead. Well then, Your Majesty, I take my leave.
Your Majesty.
You were late. What were you doing, Maxime?
I had been inspecting Victor's remains. There's no mistaking that the one who did him in was the captain of the anti-Valkyria squad, Amlet Gronkair.
You can tell?
The state of one's mind is engraved in the swordsman's technique, the essence of their being. It was a commendable stroke. That man appears to have dispelled his doubts.
And have your own doubts been relieved?
I do not know yet. However, I would like to tell Your Majesty of my observations here.
Oh, speak then.
I have been looking toward Your Majesty as to how a king should conduct himself. Your Majesty's path of power bears the grudges born from the sacrifices made, and continues forth in their memory. I wish to serve under Your Majesty because I bore witness to that resolution to walk down that road. As the Emperor remains steadfast in what must be done, so too must his generals. However, I hesitated. I discovered that the people also have their lives, their businesses, and above all, the will to live. I cannot sacrifice such people. I have gone against Your Majesty's path of power.
Of course that was the cause of your doubt.
Your Majesty?
It is simple. In chasing these dreams, you drifted from the servants' hall and have awoken along the way of kings.
Me? A king? That's ridiculous.
Your thoughts turn to your country. You value the people and hold lofty ideals. What else can that be called but king? Soon enough you shall start to dream of killing us in our sleep, just as we foresaw.
That cannot be.
We are alone now. Will you cut us down in this very room?
That's impossible. I hold Your Majesty in the highest regard even now. My words are not false. And even if part of me has begun to think like a king, I can still walk alongside Your Majesty, shoulder to shoulder. Is that not true?
That is false. The path of power is too narrow for an emperor and a king. There can be but one monarch walking the road to rule. And that sole sovereign can be only me.
Your Majesty.
You are a capable man whose worth has been proven thus far. All we ask of you is your devoted servitude, nothing more. Maxime, we grant you one last chance. Go to Kovoltis. The snowfall will cause Jutland to panic. Thus, we foresee them attacking the fortress of Sevast. Intercept their army by preemptively striking its rear guard.
Yes, sire.
Give us no cause to regret our decision to appoint you here. Do not disappoint us, Maxime.
That mortal you call Amlet. What is he to you?
He is one of my children. That child will stop you. Stop me.
You wish to be slain by your own child? So that is your desire. My child.
Velgiev's suppression was an eye-opener for Jutland's people and became the reason for many to renew the war effort. With that, Basil negotiated with the leaders of the business world, using the scandals Freit dug up as his weapon. He made sure to end their smear campaign, since they had manipulated the public to criticize him and Solomon.
Well, that's that. No hard feelings, right, boys?
Either of you step out of line, I'll publish the article. Don't think this is over because we're staying quiet for now. Just remember, the moment it goes public, you'll be ruined. You do well not to underestimate Jutland again.
Hey, don't give me that look. We can still be friends. It'll be business as usual.
Now that we've taken Valkyria, we're entering our most crucial stage. I knew that the cold was stronger than prior years, but I never expected the snow would pile on in this manner.
Just our luck. We were banking on another month of autumn.
Even the royal court is abuzz with mounting trepidation. This came as a surprise to everyone.
However, if we suspend the conflict at this time, we'd be allowing the Empire to regain its strength. If they bolster their forces now, Jutland won't stand a chance come spring. We can only press onward.
But how?
I had always said that we must settle things before the snow falls. But that is impossible now that winter is upon us, which is why I propose we take advantage of this adversity.
Turning a negative into a positive.
This year's winter is rather... excuse me, it's abnormally early. Ruse's northern area must already be snowbound. For them, the winter is their ally. However, that arrogance should be what we target.
Well, look who's letting their hair down. You used to be such a slave to schedules. Now here you are making accommodations for Mother Nature.
I suppose the princess's resolve made me adapt.
Oh hey, you're back.
Good evening.
You seem to be fitting in nicely, Your Highness. The world powers have begun moving because we've taken Valkyria. They can't ignore the situation since Jutland pulled itself out of its losing streak and started winning again. Ever since that 3-day negotiation with Brenland, we've been able to keep them restrained thanks to Solomon. But now that we're pushing Ruse this much, they can't completely trust us anymore.
The nations of Europa can be pretty crafty when it comes to protecting themselves. I expect they'll put pressure on Jutland, too.
And at the same time, they'll move against Ruse. It seems the early winter is forcing their hand. They're thinking to end this war and dismantle Ruse.
Dismantle?
There's movement among the superpowers, trying to blame them for Jutland's invasion. It's to make both Ruse and Jutland take responsibility for this chaos. Depending on the situation, one side will be dismantled, and the other may have an armed intervention by the superpowers.
Talk about fishing in troubled waters. Then again, history is written by the victors, right?
There's no doubt that this early winter is pushing different agendas all over the place.
In that case, I'd like to reorganize our coming strategies. Our target is here, the Empire's citadel of Sevast.
A strategic point indeed.
If we take this location, the Imperial capital will lay before us. They'll be caught off guard, and we'll strike then.
How about Kovaltis?
It depends on how Ruse will act. If they attack our troops en route, we'll counterattack. However, our main objective is to gain control of Sevast as soon as possible.
What about the Valkyria?
It'd be bad if it showed up while we're on the move.
Oh, we won't have to worry about that. As I mentioned earlier, the world powers have begun to act.
And Ruse will use the Valkyria to hold them back. They'll redeploy it to Sevast, though, once the assault begins.
That's the likely outcome.
So we have to deal with not only the Citadel, but the Valkyria as well. This won't be easy.
We should try to handle them separately.
The only way to do that is to take care of Sevast during daylight, right?
That's a pretty big gamble.
It'll be tough to pull off in a day.
But if we're going to attack, now's the only time. The days are long since it's summer right now. In other words, there's more time before the Valkyria appears. Not to mention, Sevast is much further north than Jutland. We can look forward to their days being even longer.
It's not much, but it might provide the edge we need.
To think the abnormal weather that's been causing so many problems will actually be of help to us.
Then we should end this once and for all. Once Sevast falls, the Emperor will send the Valkyria after us. We need to take the Citadel, defeat the Valkyria, then immediately march on the capital. That's our only shot.
Aren't you confident? Got a plan?
Yeah. We know Basil's weapons and Ophelia's song work on it. We just need one more thing to give us the advantage.
And that would be?
Sunlight. We need to drag the Valkyria into sunlight. Keep it busy till the sun comes out. Then, once it's weakened, finish it.
Be prepared for a battle of attrition, then.
Yeah. There's two problems. First, we can only fight for so long. That's why we should strike as close to dawn as we can manage.
What's the other problem?
How do we stop the Valkyria from running off at the first sight of light?
I believe Violet and I can solve the first problem.
How's that?
We negotiate with the superpowers and ensure they attack the Empire on the day of the final battle.
All right, I'll assemble the intel for that end. This is a big job. I'll have to use both Violet and Margaretha to the fullest in order to gather that information.
I'm counting on you. Both of you.
We'll create a situation where they'll be forced to deploy the Valkyria away from Sevast, with Violet's espionage and my negotiations.
Oh, baby. Saul's plotting face is a sight for sore eyes.
Why, thank you. Also, there's one more important note. This attack must be a night raid. We must attack right before the Valkyria is deployed, after all.
Now that's what I call moonlighting.
As for the second problem, I have an idea. I could borrow the power of the people.
Of Jutland?
Just so. When last I sang at the Palace Plaza, the citizens all joined in. As they sang along, I felt a white-hot energy welling up within me. I think I understand why. The Galder was becoming stronger, and the more we sang, the brighter that inner light grew. I'm sure I felt some sort of magic. Why not use that power? Let my voice carry the people's hopes and dreams, then weaponize their strength of spirit against the Valkyria.
Right, the Galder. I did sense something the last time you sang. Can't quite explain it.
Of course, I have no definite proof. But the Valkyria has been averse to my singing before. Something tells me more voices might amplify that effect.
Let's bank on that. Make sure the troops in the main army sing too.
It's worth a try.
Increasing the volume, huh? Say, how about this? We hold Ragnite while we sing. If the pieces resonate with each other, maybe it'll amp up the mana for everyone. Hell, why not get the whole damn country in on it? We'd have us a supercharged chorus heard around the world.
We carry the song to the princess across borders.
Bingo!
I'll pen something to compel the people to sing. A stirring call to action. It'll be my best piece yet.
Oh yeah, make sure they know to hold on to Ragnite products. Mana machinery, alchemic accessories, you name it. I'll cook something up on my end too. A pendant on it too. Just gotta get him packing Ragnite and singing at sunrise.
Yeah, we can do it.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone.
It started back up. Huh?
The Battle of Sevast. For all intents and purposes, it's the decisive battle between Jutland and the Ruzi Empire. In the war's history, it's said that the Empire lost because the Emperor misjudged the deployment of the Valkyria. But once again, the traitors had been pulling strings in the background.
Indeed. After adding Ophelia to their circle, the bonds among the traitors had grown even stronger. For them, they had nothing to fear. After all, they had paved the way toward a future beyond their vendetta.
But where their future led was...
Then allow me to continue.
It's decided then.
Indeed. The rest can be handled after the war is over.
For now, nothing's changed. Our liberation campaign carries on as before. We free Sevast like the others. But once the war is over, I wish to return Jutland to its original independent state, thereby liberating the other nations in truth.
All of them?
The countries that Jutland governs in the interim until they can operate normally from Ruse's colonization. You mean to return every domain to the hands of each country's people?
Whoa, yeah, you sure you want to just give it all up?
I do not mean to offend you, Your Highness, but I believe Jutland should continue to govern them even after the war. Liberation was nothing more than an expedient for the war. Our country is far from plentiful. As proof, our lives were impoverished just 1 year into the economic blockade. It's possible to annex the countries we've liberated in this war and gain enough influence to match the world powers. That's what Europa has always seen throughout its history.
Your people are living the high life off the spoils of war. I mean, sure, they don't approve of everything we've done, but you really think they'll let go of their cushy new lives that easy?
Nay. Which is precisely why we must relinquish our holdings. As Miss Violet mentioned, so long as Europa decries Jutland's war for liberation as not but an invasion, it follows that we will be giving the world powers ample reason to consider armed intervention.
Fair to say, and something we should certainly avoid.
Nor can I condone forcefully dominating others as Ruse did. The last thing I desire is to become the next evil empire.
We'd become the Empire, huh? If you phrase it that way, we can't really object to it.
I'll die before you start calling me Grand General Basil.
Then let us have faith in our countrymen. Worry not. If they truly feel pride for their homeland, they'll surely come to accept it.
That's a very you thing to say, Your Highness.
I understand your sentiment, and I personally agree with what you say. However, will the people truly meet Your Highness's expectations? They had easily wavered between liberation and invasion. You too must understand that risk well.
True that. Even in business, there's limits to how much we can entrust to the masses.
Nevertheless, I choose to trust in my subjects.
That trust would be nice, but not a luxury we journalists can afford.
I realize it shall be difficult to do so all at once. They may be slow to accept independence at the cost of their newfound wealth. But that is why everyone needs to grow and mature. It is the first step to gradually cultivating their empathy, so they can make the right choices for themselves one day. After all, I believe in the people of Jutland. That means prioritizing their future autonomy over present comfort. This is my wish.
I regret to say the time is not now. With our country's infancy, the people will disapprove of such a proclamation. If we're not careful, there may be riots or a civil war. At worst, it may lead to a crisis on a national scale.
If we stay in control, the other world powers might step in. But if we pull out, it may upset people.
Damn it! Either way we roll, we're backed into a corner.
What we need is a potent cure-all.
Whatever do you mean?
Your Highness had once said that you do not mind bloodying your hands for your beliefs. Your speech unified the people. As with that time, the people must be moved by a powerful belief. If there is an event that acts as a potent cure-all, so to speak, I believe we can overturn the situation.
Do we have something like that?
Unfortunately, no.
I have an idea.
I am fine. I'll be all right.
You chose to side with us. This is for the best.
Indeed. I will stay strong.
The traitors began preparing for the final battle. In order to see their plan come to fruition, they began moving in earnest, each playing their respective role. At the same time, Claudius, who had predicted Jutland's movements, deployed Galush to the Sieffre citadel. Similarly, he sent Maxime to Cavaltus in order to strike the advancing Jutland army from the rear. Hamlet and his unit received their anti-Valkyria equipment, which had gone through their final upgrades.
The ultimate weapons to defeat the Valkyria had been completed at last.
Is there something you need? They seem to be pushing us back.
September 7th. The Jutland army departed for Velgiev to attack Sevost.
So at that time, Maxime intercepted them from behind as they were passing through the very edge of Kvaltis. No records of those facts remain. However, this is quite valuable information to consider when speaking about it.
Top details are as follows. That's all. Vannergan, move out!
They should have just kept quiet and stayed in their hole. Defeating them would put us in a good position to take Sevost.
Those poor, pathetic Imperials against me, mightiest of men? I almost feel sorry for them. Almost.
There aren't that many. Maybe I've been doing this too long.
How about we take back Kvaltis while we're at it? Sounds like a plan. Let's get busy.
Hold your horses, everyone. Overextending ourselves is strictly forbidden. Our mission is to intercept.
Yeah, to intercept. Their faces with our fists.
Vannergan, prepare to attack! Let's do this!
Take
You ready?
Hey,
Open
they're
fire!
not so tough.
This'll do it. What are you looking at? Get this! All right. Commander down!
I don't wanna!
Who's next? Take this!
To arms! In the name of Jutland! Terribly sorry.
You ready?
The tides are turning! Onward to victory!
Who's next? That all you got? Who's next? Take this!
Ready or not, here I come!
Damn shoots!
Watch this! Lick's pumped! Look what I can do! Stronger than you! Yes, this is awesome! Ding ding! Push onward! Stronger than you! Oopsies! Taste my blade! Easy peasy, lemon squeezy! Oopsies! But I don't wanna! Cakewalk! Ding ding! Look what I can do! Their numbers are rising! Far so good! Ding ding!
Take the offensive!
Onward to I'm with you! Take easy peasy, lemon squeezy! I offer this prayer. Whoa! Lot of bad guys! There is no other way. Constant vigilance.
Come with me!
Providing defense. Look what I can do. Ding ding!
Who's next?
Retreat!
Ding ding! Stronger than you!
Retreat!
Onward to victory!
Burn them all!
Let us dance! Sunshine heart! Look what I can do! Power comes from within! Day is on!
That all you got?
Onward to victory!
Commander down!
Whoa! Not at that, guys! Whoosh! Ding ding! Huh. There is no other way. Whoopsies! Now or never! Huh. This is a cakewalk! Whoopsies! Ha! What? Real challenge! What? Pardon me! What? Look what I can do!
Commander down!
Kapow! Ding ding!
Incoming!
When numbers are right, here comes trouble. Kabang! Looks kinda hard. Whoopsies! Yeah! What? Constant vigilance. Here comes some more. Yeah!
Take the offensive!
Look what I can do! Are you alright? Than you! Kapow! Ding ding! Reinforcements! Look what I can do! Constant vigilance. Are you alright?
Let's end this!
Are you alright? Don't take your eyes off
Commander down!
Don't take trample! I down with it.
You ready? Let's end
Are
this!
you alright? Look at how my brother's
What are you looking at? Honest.
Don't take your eyes off them!
Watch this! Out of my way!
Don't take your eyes off them!
Honest.
Yep, let's go! Constant vision!
Where are you looking? As I thought, the force of your swing has changed.
Oh yeah?
I did not see any hesitation from the wound you left on Victor. I don't know what has transpired, but your sword no longer harbors doubt or overflows with rage.
Nay, Amlet shall not falter. Unlike you, his path is clear.
His path? It leads to revenge.
Not only that.
What?
I'll have my revenge, but I'm doing it for the future of Jutland.
The future? That sounds like what the princess would say.
Maybe, but I'm not fighting solely for revenge anymore. I'm fighting for Jutland's prosperity, its future.
To think I'd hear a man who used his country for revenge speak of its future. What hypocrisy.
You're right, but I will take responsibility for what my revenge has cost our countries.
What are you getting at?
Know this. I have accepted Amlet's revenge, and forgave it.
You forgave it?
To that end, I asked him to follow through with this war. Not only for vengeance, but for a brighter tomorrow. I dream of a relationship between the crown and its subjects like that shared by Amlet and myself.
Ophelia.
A country where royalty and citizenry work together to help each other mature. Amlet's strength is crucial to making that dream come true.
Maturing alongside them. Perhaps someone like you is the ideal king for the people.
Does your highness still plan to neglect your kingly duties?
I've said it before. I am Maxime, Grand General of His Imperial Majesty.
Nay, you are Prince Laertes. Your rightful place is upon the Ipsarian throne.
What do you know?
I know not. I cannot understand the feelings you hold for your homeland. If nothing else, I know that Ipsaria is a wondrous country. The Ipsarian people have likewise proven to be wonderful. They treat their interim government without prejudice. If you could see how far they have restored their land, you would be amazed by their perseverance. Yet they dream of regaining their once and future monarchy, and hope above all for the return of their prince.
Now if only our king would return, everything would be perfect.
I am aware. I too have seen it for myself numerous times. It is a splendid country. It has made me realize that people have lives too, and the will to live. I even thought to dedicate my life to them.
Then there is no cause to hesitate, Prince.
Nevertheless, I am a Grand General, and I cannot betray His Majesty's trust. May the best man win!
Ready or not, here I come! Go get us from within! The day is ours!
Incoming! Watch it!
Leave it to me! To arms!
You ready?
Taste my blade!
What are you looking? Let's end this!
Don't take your eyes off them!
Honest.
In the name of justice! Ready or not, here I come! Pain, pain, go away!
You ready? Out of my way!
Got it bad? Look what I cut this out!
Watch this!
Don't take your eyes off that! Don't take your eyes off that! Hey, hey, go away! No quarter!
Show me what I can do! How about this?
Don't take your eyes off that! Slayer teeth!
Yet, none will stand in my way.
That
rage makes you understand the soul
well. Vigilance! I won't take my eyes off that! Constant vigilance! For your constant vigilance!
You can't fight with me. It's over!
What should I do? I don't wanna! Constant vigilance! Don't take your eyes off that! Don't take your eyes off that! Stay down! Constant vigilance!
It's over!
Got it back! Let off!
See right through you. See how you handle this.
Out of my way!
How weak!
Ready or not, here I come! For your boo-boo! Look what I can do!
You ready?
How about this?
That all you got?
Constant vigilance!
That all you got?
Constant vigilance! Don't take your
That all
eyes
you got? That all you got? That all you got?
Constant vigilance! I can't show any weakness! Ready or not, here I come! Pain, pain, go away!
You ready? What are you looking at?
Don't work on me!
Out of my way!
Constant vigilance!
Honest. Mission complete.
I'm still nowhere near my brother. Prince Laertes.
I no longer have a reason to fight with you.
Just so.
I too will search for the path of an ideal king and walk it.
Please wait. Let's fight together against the Ruzi Empire.
I cannot do that, Princess. I am still a general of the Empire. My pride as a Ruzi general and the allegiance I swore to His Majesty linger in my heart. I cannot walk a new path yet.
Is that what it means to be a warrior?
Indeed. The man who stands before you exists because the Emperor allowed him to live, gave him a path to walk. As long as I possess the grace His Majesty has bestowed upon me, I cannot point my blade at him. Farewell. May we never cross paths again. But should that day come, that man will no longer be Grand General Maxime of the Imperial Army.
The Jutland army succeeded in intercepting the Ruse army. In the same fashion, they reclaimed Kavoltis. And after preparing their supplies, they began their march toward Sevast several days later.
It seems your doubts have been resolved.
Yes, sire.
And?
Your Majesty, Emperor Claudius, I am truly grateful for the hospitality you have provided me.
That is your answer? So be it. Then you must needs prepare to make an enemy of an emperor.
I have taken that into consideration. As proof, I return the armaments you have bestowed to me as Grand General. I return the name Maxime as well. I am Laertes Khan Crimeus III, second prince of the lost kingdom Ipsaria, and its next king.
We see with our own eyes the might of your resolve, Maxime. No, Laertes, and that you too shall aim to usurp our throne.
No, I wish to stand alongside you as a fellow king.
Lest you forget, the road to rule isn't wide enough for two.
That is your way, Your Majesty. The king I strive to be walks another.
Is that so?
The way of kings I will advocate is freedom. There does not need to be a single king as well. Which is why, even if our ideologies differ, I will be able to speak with you on equal footing.
How very droll. But we do not abide. Mark us well. On the path of power, there can be only one. We shall take you to heel, where a good general belongs.
No. The next time we meet, it will be when we stand next to each other, as one king to another. Farewell.
Ha ha.